A popular game that a lot of streamers, creators, and people play with their friends lost the trust of their audience overnight with this one contest they're hosting. So let's delve into the situation. Yup, it's about party animals. So this was posted to Party Animals' Twitter page May 12th, and they write, Party Animals AI video contest is about to begin. Yippee! Note the sarcasm. What wild ideas have you had for party animals? Join the Golden Paw Awards now. Party Animals' first AI video contest. A short film you've been dreaming of making, a story that breaks all rules, a character tribute to your favorite beast. In the past, ideas like these could only exist in your head. Now, with AI, they finally have a chance to become reality. I don't know, did we forget about art, animation, drawing, stick figures? But I digress. So they're hosting a contest, it's gonna last for a couple months, and there's $75,000 in cash prizes. The background of Party Animals is they're developed by Recreate Games, which is owned by a Chinese company called Source Technology, which there's not that much information about because they're a Shanghai-based company, but maybe that's where the funding came from. And for the contest, it had to be video. The theme was positive party animal related stuff, and that AI must be the core, including but not limited to AI generated images, video, music, voiceovers, 3D assets, etc. First place winner was going to win $15,000. Four categories with one winner per category winning $4,500, four additional nominees per category winning $1,500, and up to 100 non-nominated quality entries sharing a $15,000 prize pool. And there is a popularity award as well. Okay, you know what I think is so funny though? In the rules, in rule number 2, it says any plagiarism or unauthorized use of others' work will result in disqualification. Isn't that what AI does? And what are the public results? Well, everybody seems to be very pissed. Rightfully so. People were saying things like $75,000 cash prize and you couldn't use it for artists. I don't want to be entering this contest. People were showing screenshots of themselves uninstalling party animals from their Steam library. People were just overall upset and basically being like, hell nah, and who gave you guys the green light in your company to post a contest like this? The public overwhelmingly disliked this. So Party Animal writes, hi everyone, we would like to address the recent discussion around the AI video contest. And first of all, we're sorry for upsetting players with this event, and we're sorry we didn't communicate enough. Our original goal was to lower the barrier of entry to creation. In past contests, we saw players with great ideas and scripts who couldn't fully bring them to life because they weren't familiar with tools like editing, modeling, or animation software. We hoped AI could be a more accessible tool that lets more people take part. That said, we understand the concerns around AI, and we're not trying to dismiss handmade work or disrespect creators. To us, AI is just another tool. And so they came up with a genius idea to put up a Twitter poll to see what the public thought. Also about this is just very, very interesting because of course, sure, it can feel frustrating if there's a contest that's being hosted that you can't enter due to one reason or another, but making an AI only contest, I really don't think is the answer. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of better options. If you really wanted to make something accessible, I mean, you could always host like a contest and then, like a contest format, have like funniest one, etc., etc. Basically judging categories that aren't judged off of skill alone so that people can make like a funny scuff submission or something like that and have that written into the rules so that people know, hey, there are options where I could win that aren't going to be explicitly art skill related. And in the weirdest turn of what companies can do publicly about situations that people don't like, they put out a Twitter poll. Honestly, flabbergasted because I have not seen this yet. When companies experience strong public dislike for something they've done, a Twitter poll is typically the last thing you would see from them. Typically, they roll it back or they double down. This one, Twitter poll. We would like to leave the next step up to the community. Please vote on what we should do. So I voted to cancel the AI contest, obviously. But there were also the option to change to non-AI contest or keep AI, add non-AI track. The final result, 57% of people wanted to cancel the AI contest, 35% wanted to change it to not AI, and 8% wanted to keep AI and add a non-AI track. And overall, people were saying things like, yo, about this poll, making a poll and including keeping the AI contest discredits all the damage control you're doing. So yeah, after the poll, people obviously weren't happy because they felt like the poll and having the option to continue the AI contest didn't support the walk back that Party Animals was trying to do. I think there is interesting additional context to add, and that doesn't make it okay or anything, but that because they're owned by a Chinese company, and I don't want any racism here, I myself am Chinese, but China, mainland China, has a much more positive view on Gen AI than the US does. So potentially there could be a situation where because they are owned by a Chinese company, maybe some higher ups literally, in the mindset of China being like, well, we like Gen AI over here, so we'll make a Gen AI contest in the US without realizing that in the US, Gen AI is quite frowned upon in the US, at least from what I've seen. Of course, there are pros and cons to every side, and there's going to be supporters and non supporters of every situation. But from what I have seen, the majority of the US is not a fan of generative AI. And people have their own thoughts, right? There was an IGN post about this whole Party Animals fiasco, and somebody quote retweeted it writing, "Most gamers and artists love Gen AI. This is just the loud minority." And the post got ratioed, and this person writes, "No, we don't." And it has 96,000 likes. We got some sources over here. Another Twitter user adds, a Pew Research Center survey found that only 10% of Americans were excited about AI, with the vast majority either mixed or more concerned about AI, and a majority believing AI will make people dumber, which tracks if you've ever talked with an AI bro. So as you can see, as the years go on, the amount of people excited are shrinking and the amount of people who are concerned are growing. So after all of that, Party Animals put out another statement. And they write, "Dear Party Animal players, regarding the controversy surrounding the recent AI video contest, we want to offer our apologies for those who expressed concern, criticism, and voiced their opinions. Following the announcement of this event, we received a significant amount of negative feedback." I would say significant is low-key an understatement because this kind of blew up Twitter for like a couple days, where literally everybody was mad and everybody was talking about how they don't want to play Party Animals anymore because of this contest. And they doubled down on adding that, hey, even though our consideration is insufficient and the design was inadequately thought through, our original intent was again to encourage more diverse forms of creative expression and lower the barrier to entry, allowing players who love Party Animals to participate. And that they added that they mistakenly tied lowering the barrier together with using AI, and that they overlooked the harm that the ongoing debate around AI generated content could cause to the player community. And so they canceled the event. And they once again apologize, and they want to be more humble and cautious with approaching related AI topics in the future. Funny as hell, people were taking the statement that was made and then putting it into a ChatGPT checker, and a checker flagged what was written as 99% likely to be written with AI GPT. Now, again, some of these checkers are incorrect. They can flag human work as being written with ChatGPT, but like, interesting. One thing again, I absolutely hate. I am a horrific user of the M dash. I've been using it since like the day that I discovered this thing because I love M dashes, and I hate how M dashes have gotten co-opted with AI, and that if you use an M dash, everyone accuses you of using AI. But again, with this statement, a lot of people weren't happy because people felt like this was Party Animals apologizing for making the public upset, but missing the overall point, where the overall point was that a lot of players don't want to support a company that supports generative AI. And it wasn't like the company came forward and was like, hey, we did our research and we realized that generative AI isn't good or that it steals from artists and that we don't want to incorporate that in the future to our contest and our game as a whole, but rather more so, oopsies, you guys didn't like our Gen AI take, so we're gonna walk it back and keep a little hush hush from now, just to let you guys calm down, keep playing our game. I know our player base was dropped a lot. Keep playing it. People kind of felt like it was more like that and less so, oh, we've realized what was actually wrong, which was our very obvious support of generative AI. The third point that was not even covered in this that I think is so funny, and I'm just curious about your thoughts, guys, is that here in this paragraph, right, they say, we mistakenly tied lowering the barrier together with using AI. This drives me so freaking crazy because every AI bro ever tries to insist AI is difficult. For me, making my 30-second generative AI video, I had to put so much thought into it. I had to generate 100 different scenes before finding the perfect one. This, that, and the third. All the AI bros make using generative AI and AI videos and whatever imagery sound like it's an extremely difficult task. And they always try to sell it as it's a high-skilled thing that they put a lot of thought and effort to, comparable to an animation, a fully illustrated drawing, a manga that you drew, right? They always make it sound like it's a lot of work. Here, Party Animals, a company that's very pro AI from what it looks like, right, with their $75,000 contest, is saying in different words that they imply that AI is easy. AI is lowering the barrier. So easy and low effort. That is what they're saying. So again, this is the third point that I just kind of like saw here, where I just think it's interesting how you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't call AI easy and low effort, and you can't also insist that it's a lot of work for you to go generate your bajillion million apparently dollars Coca-Cola ad, okay? It's not the same. You can't have both. Either it's easy or you put a lot of work and effort into it. Curious about your thoughts, but I just thought that was so funny because that's just a sentiment that's baked into their apology here that is very different from what a lot of the other AI bros be saying. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's very interesting because the contest likely was something that Party Animals cooked up to try to maybe save the declining player base because in the last 3 months, you know, their player base has dropped a lot. They were at like around 13,000 3 months ago in February. And then now they're at like 6,000 daily players. So it's more than halved in just 3 months. And it, you know, of course it goes up and down. They were probably hoping that this was going to be like the big win to go and get them more players, etc. And what actually it caused is more people to not want to play Party Animals. And I think this is the final point, is that time and time again, companies have shown that when you publicly support generative AI or you publicly use generative AI, what generally ends up happening is you completely lose the trust of your audience. Party Animals was a beloved game that a lot of streamers and creators were playing on stream. People were just playing with their friends. And of course, there's going to be people who don't care whatsoever. And they're like, Gen AI, I love it. I'm going to keep playing the game. But there's going to be a lot of people who are like, yo, I don't like generative AI. And now that I see your stance on this game and your stance on generative AI, I don't want to play it anymore. And it's going to cause the public to lose trust with you as a company and as a game. So overall, what are your thoughts on this entire situation? Are you still going to be playing Party Animals? Did you expect this? Did you not? I did not expect this from Party Animals at all. Just open up Twitter one day and I was like, what in the world am I seeing from Party Animals right now? So an absolute wild thing to be happening over the weekend. So with that, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I just came back from EDC. It was super fun. My favorite set there was Subtronics. If you went to EDC, let me know what your favorite set is. I might be going again next year because this was my first one and I had so much fun. So with that, check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there like frog emotes and things like that for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources if you're a content creator, which I think is funny. I have like other TikToks and stuff like that. And sometimes some of you guys find me there and I'm like, I see you. And don't forget to check me out on Twitch. I do stream there 3 days a week, Mondays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. and Thursdays at 7:30. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another one of my videos. Peace.